What are the leadership qualities or styles that kind of set people apart?
Leadership is more of a mindset. Every leader has a different journey.
When you are hiring people, especially in a tech data driven world and an industry, right? What are the key qualities that you look for?
The potential that they carry, right? The attitude that they carry, right? So these are some of the things that will help us in molding them and shaping them, because we don't want someone who's come with a pre-mindset, when they're joining an organization.
What kind of people you look for, especially in entrepreneurship consulting? What is the mindset? What is the thinking process?
To me, leadership largely is about getting simple, ordinary people to actually do some really tough things, right? We need to be very cognizant of leaders versus managers. One thing I've noticed is that we are very good managers. Leadership traits are still missing.
If you're going to a college and going to recruit somebody, what are the kind of people that you would consider as leaders?
We are still teaching students about hard technical skills, right?
A lot of people who started as assistant professors were still stuck at professor. In spite of being in that, how did you get noticed by the leadership?
I feel every teacher has to be a leader. A teacher's role is to inspire, to get the best out of a student. We fell in love sometimes with a subject just because of the teacher, and we lost complete interest in a subject because of the teacher.
Leaders have to definitely inspire, and they have to have a strategic vision.
In a competitive field like data science, right, where everybody wants to get through and there is a lot of influx of talent, right? How does a person differentiate his leadership skills?
Pressure becomes a passion. When someone wants to really do something, they will become passionate.
Nowadays, I hear this a lot, that hard work is kind of overrated, or hard work is kind of being abused to, extract.
Just telling them that I need this outcome will not help.
Doing something you love is very different from hard work or 15 hours of work doing something you're probably not that much in love with. We haven't been taught a lot about taking care of our mental health.
Should hard work be voluntary or should it be enforced upon?
You probably won't go to work if you have a fracture. People go to work if they have a panic attack.
People don't leave companies, they leave their managers.
And how were you successful in spite of that?
The key task of leadership is to define the culture. Careers are built over decades.
I would agree, but yeah, when I worked, I never stayed in any company more than 2 years. You move when you have nothing else to learn, or your manager is a person that you don't want to stand anymore.
Good leader actually creates good leaders, right? So they don't create managers, they don't create followers, I would say, right?
Soft skills generally learned by a student only when they start working in teams. Many of these leadership traits, they can't be taught in a classroom like a lecture. You say that there has to be first of all some life, and then only there is a question of balancing it.
Current culture of work from home, remote work, I think this is somewhere going to deplete the new leaders, right? Because like he rightly said, you need to be with people, talk to them, observe them, see them in action to learn to become a leader, right?
If you want to get the best out of the student, please call him or her to office at least 3 days a week.
I kind of, second that. Today you log into Swiggy or Zomato as a rider. Today you get a job. Yes, you get a job. You get paid for that job and then you're done.
Right.
So the moment there is no peer group learning and you are just a number on my spreadsheet.
They don't want to really wait for 30s, 40s, 50s to start living. They want to live right now on the go.
Yeah, when your knees are not working anymore, what is the point of having all the money in the world? 40 hours per week concept was introduced in about 100 years ago, a century ago by Henry Ford. 100 years later, with so much productivity, so much technology, I don't understand why we still need 40 hours per week to get stuff done. Employment problem will be solved the moment you make it 3-day work week, 5 hours work day.
Something which is more customized for everyone. Who works hard, probably gets more reward. And people who work less, they get rewarded accordingly.
I think value-based rewards, I think it's very tough to implement.
When people get over 40, if they're not in leadership, they are just managerial, right? Then they are non-billable people. Companies want to get rid of them. Not everybody is destined to be a leader.
Population plays a game.
Yeah.
Availability of talented population plays a bigger game.
India has a problem at every economic level.
The moment you're working as a consultant, you have your own GST. Anything that you're spending, you claim GST.
Consulting, entrepreneurship, you're pretty much your own boss. Key thing is to take a risk somewhere in your life.
With technology and AI penetrating into our systems, I don't see that education enough in the system right now.
What is the importance of staying current and continuing to innovate while you are, becoming a leader?
For their own survival and also for the organization.
So I believe that exposure widening is the critical thing here. Education is supposed to bring it out, right? And that happens with exposure. So
To unlock leadership potential, right? Is it, ambition? Is it the drive? Is it the hard work? Or is it the connections? So what are the key elements to this whole jigsaw puzzle.
I think one of the key skills that's going to be there important is adaptability.
When you do so many things, you figure out what you're really good at.
Surround yourself with the right ecosystem.
Don't fear, just get started. You'll automatically figure out in the first 1 year, 2 years.
Find something that you love, and till you find something you love, you keep switching.
Don't forget to live your life. You also have a life.